Hello, Kirby Avalir fans. So I haven't mopped my floors in a while and they're getting a bit disgusting. So I'm going to do something about that today. And we're going to use my Kirby Avalir. And I know I've done a how-to video before, but now that I do video editing, I figured why not make a better video of how to use a Kirby Avalir shampooer system. Mopping system, because I know there's questions people have had about it and I want to do my best to help you all with that. So let's cut straight to it. First step I usually do is pre-vacuum the floor before I actually start setting up anything. I know some of you would like to see a longer pre-vacuum, but this is a how-to video, so I'm gonna get on with the rest of it. Next up, you need to make sure this brush roll, the mop roller, is in there. So if you previously used your Avalir for carpet shampooing, you need to get the carpet shampooer out. So what you do is you take the brush roll out, you slide off the belt, put it back in the box, and then slide the belt onto the mop roller, and then install the mop roller. Now we install it on the Kirby. And what you do is you place your finger, put it on the belt, and then flip it over, turn the belt lifter until the red arrows line up. Like so. Then you install it. And there you go. And then you can also put your tray assembly on too. And now the nozzle assembly is all ready to go. So now what I'm going to do is fill the tank up, and I know the Kirby instructions say to fill it up with warm water, but I actually fill it up with hot water, just because if you fill it up with hot water, you're going to get more suds, and it's probably just going to be more effective cleaning in general. So I usually fill it up with hot water. And I filled it up to the second line just because I just plan to do the kitchen. I'm not doing the living room. If I was doing both my kitchen and living room, I would fill it up to the third line, but I can always refill if I run out. So we have two mopping soaps here. We have this one, which is for Murphy or something. And this is Kirby Hard Floor Cleaner. You can actually use either of these. I've been using this ones in my dad's Kirby mopper for a couple of years now, and we've had no problems with it. Like usual, just rinse out the tank really good, like if you were using the Kirby's and all that. But since I found out we have some of this stuff today, and I actually like the smell of this better, I'm gonna use the Kirby's. But you can actually use this one too. And you can actually use this one too, and there would be no problems. So when it comes to putting the solution in the shampooer tank, if I fill it up to the second line, I'm gonna fill up this cup 2 times. If it's only at the 1 line, then I'm only gonna fill up once. If it's at the 3rd line, I'm gonna fill it up all 3 times. Put it in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and hang on a sec. Okay, now we're ready. Sorry about that. So that's once. And this is twice. And then after you're done filling it, you just screw on the cap as tight as you can get it so you can still take it off. And then just store your Kirby Mopper solution back where you had it. And now let's install the tank. So let's now install the tank. When you install the tank, make sure this little sponge filter is clean, and because stuff from still inside the Kirby will get in that. And then this little red hose, you install this end first on here. You get a better angle. This little hose you actually have to kind of wrestle with a little bit, and then you hook it onto the tank. And there we go. Now we're done. Now we're ready to mop. So when you want to dispense suds for mopping, you move it up to here. That's where you want it when your tank is full for mopping. Now let's say if your tank is nearly out, but you just have a little bit to do left. But if let's say your Kirby Avalir is not dispensing suds, and this is here, then you can move it up to more, or even full, or in the middle, or whatever. But yeah, usually. But when you have a full tank, you want it right here. But let's say your tank starts to run out, then you can start moving it more toward the carpet setting, because then it'll actually dispense suds. Well, let's go ahead. So now that it's in this position, let's go ahead and mop the floors. So we're mopping right now using the suds. And I would have the suds on when you're actually mopping, when you're actually trying to clean the floor. I would actually use the suds, because after you're done extracting the water, don't expect to be cleaning it. Cleaning, you're gonna want to do like only two passes at a time, because this stuff tends to dry quick. If I did this whole room before switching it to the off position, this first pass could be dry by the time I'm actually ready to go. So that's just a little something to keep in mind. And now let's switch this to the off position for extracting. Time to do some extracting. And now I shall answer a question that a lot of other people seem to be asking in my videos. So, a question many people seem to be asking on my mopping videos with this is, if you see right here, there's some water that it dragged back on its backwards pass. I actually look at this as a good thing, because then you know all the water from over there is out in here. But what I do to get rid of that is, when my dad's Kirby salesperson was demoing his Avalir to him, the Kirby dealer taught a trick that I actually find to be quite handy. And that is, you move the Kirby forward over the residue that it dragged back. Then you lift the head up when you moved it over, and then drag it back to pick up that stuff. And I'll show you what I mean. And obviously, you want to have the shampoo thing off when you're doing this. This is for when after you're done extracting. And now, let's continue mopping. I kind of already knew this about the Avalir. So the shampoo mopper system is kind of like the shampooer. Doesn't do great with edges, but if you see this, remember how bad this spot was? Clean off the floor. The Avalir, when you, I keep the suds going when I'm actually doing the cleaning part. I actually extract when the spot is actually clean. That's when I actually extract. But I actually keep the suds going on the floor when I'm still cleaning the floor. So, yeah. But there you have it. So, for those of you who don't think the Avalir mopper does well, it actually does well. It may not do very well for edges, but for this spot right here, clean off the ground. So, let's go ahead and continue. But yeah, as I said, for those bad spots, keep the suds going, and then just shut them off when you're done. Then just extract the water when you're done actually cleaning the spot. So I'm gonna finish up mopping, and then we'll get to the cleaning. So as a final parting shot for this video, all in all, the Avalir's mopping feature definitely gets used more than the shampooing. We mop more than we shampoo with the Avalir. And all in all, I would have to say I give it a thumbs up. Obviously the edges it's not so great for edges, but let's say if you have like a lot of open floor to do and it's really dirty, this is definitely great. Especially if you have like a lot of sand and pebbles on your floor, because even when I pre-vacuum, I'll still miss some like pebbles or sand, and that might make it tricky for a normal mop to get. But the Avalir, it's no problem. The Avalir will get up all that sand and pebbles, and the water dries quickly. So I definitely highly recommend the Avalir's mopper system if you have a lot of open, dirty area to do. So, and you want quick drying time. That's all for this one. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.